So firstly, just how is everyone, obviously, the Wednesday game, just how's preparation going for Saturday?
Good, yeah, the players recovered well yesterday. A lighter training session today, but, everybody's in good spirits. I think that's important. I think it's also important to understand that while we were pleased with the performance on Wednesday, we lost the game. So what we've got to do is make sure that, obviously, tomorrow against Stevenage, we do all we can against a really strong team to get 3 points.
And how's everyone come through it? Obviously, it was a very high intensity game. How's everyone feeling?
Yeah, good, yeah. They're all right. Everyone recovered well yesterday. The players that needed training minutes got their training minutes. So I think, we've come through it relatively unscathed, if I'm honest, in terms of injury. There weren't any contact injuries we had to worry about. We don't foresee any injuries any fresh injuries moving into Saturday. So we're in similar shape to that which we were last Saturday.
You managed to rotate players as well. I know Daniel Doe came on in the second half. Was that just to give him a bit less time, a bit more for...
Just trying to manage the players, right? So at the moment, obviously, we understand that the games are going on considerably longer than what we're used to. So we're just trying to make sure that we can spread the minutes around the players. But also, I think what was important Wednesday was that some of our players got an exposure to what was an unbelievable atmosphere. There was a different pressure in that game on Wednesday night. Playing in front of 35,000 people was an amazing experience for some of our younger players. So, what we're hopeful now is that we see the development from them, from the minutes they've had, moving forward into the game at the weekend, and we go into another tough run of fixtures because we go Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday. So the squad will need to be utilised.
I'm going to ask you this, but you can just say yes or no. Max Matter, has his visa come in yet?
No. Unfortunately not, no. I think we're slightly further down the line with the process. But unfortunately, no, he's still unavailable for Saturday.
And Shay Dunkley, we saw him, obviously didn't come on, but how's he doing? I know you said he was getting closer.
Good, yeah. Shay's desperate to be back involved, and he is, and he will be. So I think, with him being named captain as well, it's imperative that he's in and around the group. He will be in the squad for Saturday. So we're hopeful that, as and when he's needed, that he's ready. What we don't want to do, and I think it's really important that we don't break the players. So there's a process in which they have to undertake to get back to fitness. Che's well on the way to doing that. Great to have him back around the group. He's such a good influence. But where we're lucky, and I'll say it again, is that we've got more than one Che Dunkley. We've got quite a few captains in and around the squad. So they're really good with the young players. And I think we're exceptionally fortunate to have such good seniors that care about the young boys. So no, Che will most definitely be back in the squad and involved in some capacity.
And again, we saw kind of another formation, another setup on Wednesday night. Is that something that you're really keen on keeping it fresh? And Tom Bailey's playing a little bit in a different role. Do you see that being something going forward?
What's important is that our principles don't change, regardless of what the game plan looks like. Because I'd hope that on Wednesday and on Saturday, when you saw us, you'd say you'd know what we're trying to do. The players are committing to that. There was a slight tweak in formation, but what the players have to do is be adaptable within our structure, and they are. Right? There's still a lot for us to try and get across to them. We spend a hell of a lot of time as coaches really making sure that the information that we give them are the golden nuggets. So if you remove the questioning part, i.e. what am I doing at this, well, as long as you can give that information to the players and remove any areas in which they might be questioning, that's what we're trying to do. And I think on Wednesday you definitely saw a committed team performance, and it was high energy, and it's going to be tough to replicate that week in, week out, but that's my challenge to the players.
Morgan Feeney and Joe Anderson, they have seemed to have come in and have just slotted straight into what you're trying to do. They've kind of just seamlessly transitioned into the style of play. Just your thoughts on those?
No, I thought both of them were excellent, and they're both young players. Morgan's got more experience, having played at Carlisle, so he's got that Football League knowledge. Joe is a player that the first time I watched him, what I like about him is that he plays men's football, and what I mean by that is you can see with his passes that he tries to play forwards when he gets the ball. Also, they're both becoming more aggressive. At the moment, I'd argue Morgan's slightly more aggressive, but Joe is adding that to his game. I think that Joe's performance, especially on Wednesday night, was excellent, as was Morgan's. We could have scored from a set play just after we scored our first goal. So both of those players are going to grow, both of them are going to develop. Again, where we're fortunate is at the moment we've got, and I would class Joe and Morgan in this, is 4 senior centre-halves for 3 positions. So it's a wonderful position for me to be in. I have no doubt that I will have a headache very soon with whom to pick. But what I do know is that all 4 of those, are capable, and we're fortunate to have them at the club.
When Shay is back fit, do you see yourself going maybe sometimes to a back 4 instead of a 5?
I don't think so. I think what we are as a group of staff is principled. Will it change slightly, i.e. in front of that for each game? It might do, because it might have to. But, I think that if we get to 7 or 8 games into the season, the opposing manager will know what type of formation we're going to play. I think that's important, because that identity is massive. Will things change within that? Yeah, of course, because they're going to have to. There'll be injuries throughout the season where we might need to change things, but at the moment, with the players that we have fit, it's really important that we continue the work on the grass here about us and about how we're playing.
You spoke a couple of weeks ago about recruitment. Are you any further along in maybe bringing a new face in?
We're trying. It's proving more difficult. Every manager, every coach I speak to is having the same issues. Clubs are holding on to, and quite rightly so, their players for longer, so for loans that we're maybe looking at. It also is getting to a point where I think it's imperative that anyone that comes in improves the group, and that means they have to be ready to play. Because what we can't do is we can't waste a signing. We've got to make sure we get them right, and I know that Mickey and Tom are working extremely hard to make that the case. So I'm hopeful that there will be new signings in the building, but is that imminent? I'm not quite sure at the moment.
And those that you're looking at, would they be loan signings that you're looking for, or maybe a permanent one?
Both we're looking at the moment, so I couldn't really give you a steer. Look, we're no different to probably every football club in League 1 and League 2, where we want to go after and we want to improve the front line we've spoken about. So, but I do know this from my experience, there will be 1 or 2 players that pop up at some point from now to the end of the window that maybe takes us by surprise. So we've obviously got a list and we're working very hard on that list, but whether or not we get them I can't confirm at the moment.
We're just finally then obviously looking ahead to Saturday, Stevenage, first away game as well. Just your thoughts going into that one?
Different test. I think had great success last year. They will be extremely well drilled. Each and every player in their position knows their job. And I think when you've got an experienced manager as they have in Steve, who's obviously been highly successful, he's going to make sure that his players are aware of what's required. It'll be a good game for us, because especially coming off of the game on Wednesday, because it will be very different. But the one thing that I will say to the players, that if they expect to go there and win because we've narrowly got beat at Leeds, then they're very badly mistaken. So we've got to make sure that first and foremost, wherever you go and wherever you play, you've got to earn the right. And that might take us 10 minutes, it might take us 15. But we will play our way, whilst understanding that Stevenage are highly effective. And they're a very good team at home. I went and watched them on Tuesday night, was really impressed. I thought they were very good against Watford. So it's going to be a really difficult